Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time for Ronald. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of the blueness, wherever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now this is for a film called Goodnight Mommy from 2014. That, again, I know got some good reviews, but to me, I thought this was kind of dog shit. I mean, is it the worst movie I've ever seen? No, not by far. I wouldn't say the acting is really that bad. I wouldn't say the camera work is really that bad. There's a couple moments that were type of moments, I'll give you that. So maybe dog shit is too harsh of a word. But I didn't care for this film. I thought it was slow, because it's trying to do a slow burn, obviously. But I thought it was very predictable. I knew 10 minutes in where this movie was going. And I was right. I thought it was a very predictable film. I thought that it kind of took... When it's that predictable, you're just waiting for the film to catch up to you, and it just feels like just twiddling its thumbs. Idea is trying to create this dread and atmosphere, but I don't know, just so many times I'm like, I won't say there's an easy fix, but it wasn't really interesting or exciting or scary or suspenseful to me. So what feeling am I supposed to engage out of it? A mom who's had cosmetic surgery, so she's got bandages on her face. She's come home. And when she comes home, there's two boys, twins. Now, let me put it this way. Let's say you have a movie, a horror film. It's billed as a horror film, where you have two boys, there's a mom, the mom only talks to one, never mentions, talks, looks at the other, never acknowledges the other, and does stuff within the first 10 minutes, like pours a glass for the one boy, but not the other boy. And then the other boy whispers to, I'll say boy number one, I don't remember their names, pours a drink for boy number one. Does not acknowledge boy number two, look at it, see anything. Then boy number two whispers to boy number one, and then boy number one talks. If you've seen this many films, horror films, whatever, what could the twist be? And throughout the next, even 10-15 minutes, within the first third of the film, she'll only talk to the boy number one, or when he's saying something, she gets aggravated with him, never even pays attention to the other. I'm like, the other kid is dead. It's just the other kid doesn't exist. Just the other kid is not there. It's either imaginary or it's a dead twin. Plus, I already saw that done in another fucking movie called The Uninvited from 2009, which I think that's a remake of another film called A Tale of Two Sisters. But that was remade into the US in 2009. This came out 2014. So 5 years after that film. That was another film where you had, well, I guess I just spoiled that film. For those who haven't seen The Uninvited, sorry. And I'm like, this is what it is. And it was. I'm like, well, that wasn't really much of a surprise. I'm sorry. I'm not a genius. To me, it was very heavily telegraphed. But you're not supposed to know that yet, viewer. So the kids think the mom's acting weird, so it must not be their mom. I'm like, well, she's not acting that weird. I mean, she's just a bit aggravated because she's had cosmetic surgery and the kid's being a fucking douche nozzle, douchebag. So she like grabs him and holds him on down to the bed and says, "Stop it." But the kids think the mom is a fake or an imposter. You know what? It would have been a more interesting movie if it was an imposter. If it was two kids. Have to deal with a mom who is not really their mom anymore and is an imposter, and no one would believe them and think they're, oh, it's kids being kids. And how do you as a kid battle someone who you thought was your mom or thinking is your mom or people think are your mom, and what kind of situation does that employ into a kid? And to me, that would have been a more interesting story. Would have been more intriguing setup and more of a better path. Well, spoilers. Starting now, sorry. It's about what if a twin could not accept the death of his other, twin, to the point that he is so stubborn, so unable to handle that your other portion of yourself is dead and gone, that you'll create any scenario in your head to keep that illusion going, including thinking that your mom is not really your mom. And that's like one of the big horror aspects of them all in this movie. I guess your enjoyment of this film is, number one, if you didn't see the twist coming, or number two, I guess just your overall experience of this slow burn tale. Again, stuff to mention, the kid has his own cockroach tank. There's some disturbing moments, I'll give you that, like the kid's dream of feeding a cockroach to the mom when she's sleeping, and then another dream where they cut her open and cockroaches come out as if it's that scene from Creepshow. Although I'm like, well, I saw some of that in Creepshow. I did see that in Creepshow. When they had, the creeping up on you, and the cockroach comes out of the dead body's mouth, and then, I saw that in Creepshow. I could just watch Creepshow for that. Again, it's a disturbing scene, but again, it's like I could just watch Creepshow for that. Again, a better, shorter story, in my opinion. And they do stuff like they had a cat, and the cat's found dead, and they put the dead cat in the tank. And of course, the mom gets pissed. Who would blame her? And the last 30 minutes of the film is a torture fest. I'm not a fan of torture films. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. I'm not a torture guy. There are films that featured I could deal with, like the first Saw film. I like the first Saw film. After that, kind of just went downhill for me. Saw franchise is not my favorite franchise. I could maybe watch 2, the second one. After that, I don't really like any of them after. I really don't. Just felt like the same shit, different day. And yeah, you say the same for slasher films, but slasher films just feel more fun and entertaining. Yeah, Saw, there's the interesting idea of what kind of trap will be next, but then because it gets elongated, goes on for so long, okay, I'm interested in the idea, and now I'm kind of done, and I'm just waiting for this person I don't care about to die, and just, okay, yeah. Pretty much everyone dies in the Saw film, so it doesn't matter. So that's another thing, like, everyone gets fucked in the Saw film. So there's not really much suspense, because either you die or you're fucked. Or you died and fucked. So, there's no suspense of, oh, I hope this person makes it. None of them make it. None of them do. So what's the point? Anyway. I mean, what I mean by that is the third act. This is what happens in the third act. They tie the mom to the bed. They have a magnifying glass. They burn parts of her skin off. They super glue her lips. Then they realize she can't eat, so they cut that open. So the lips are a bit bloody. Some Red Cross people come in, but they gag her, and the kid talks to them and they leave. She accidentally wet the bed, so kid unties her. She's ready to fix it. Now, we've seen this mom manhandle the kid. We've seen her take this kid down earlier. This is when she had a bandage on her face. And she was able to take the kid down when the kid was being an asshole and keep the kid in the bed. And she now has this heavy, cover bed sheets that she throws at the kid in his face. Why didn't she put it over the kid's head? Hell, even punch him. Punch him once, punch him twice. Take down. I'm not saying she's gotta be Goldberg from WCW. Spear. But the kid weighs like 8 pounds. You could take him down. Instead, she runs off. She hits a booby trap. She's knocked down. They've tied her to the floor. The mom's trying to explain, it's not your fault your brother died. It's not your fault. But yes, the kid can't accept that. He can't accept that his twin is dead. So there must be some other thing to it. Burns the mother to death. Burns the house down. Maybe the kid dies. Maybe the kid doesn't die. Just the last bit is that kid walking in the cornfield, sees a brother and a mother, and either he's dead and he's in his own spear. I don't know what the hell that word is. Spear. I'll make it up since the kids make this shit up. Or he's alive, but he's in the cornfield and he's imagined his imaginary twin and now his imaginary mom. He'll probably go off, I don't know, become a banker. I don't fucking know. I don't know, maybe become Gordon Gekko. I don't fucking know. I didn't gravitate towards any of the characters. I didn't care one way or another. Like I said, I thought it was predictable. 10 minutes in, I knew what was going on. It's a slow burn, so I found it rather boring. I didn't... Other than the cockroach weird dreams, like the 2 or so, that's the only mood atmosphere I got out of it. Was those two. The others were kind of the kids just fumbling around, twiddling their fingers, talking. The mom being distraught because she got her bandages on, then taking the bandages off. And again, this is like the first hour or so. And like I said, the last half hour is just torture porn. And it's trying to be, disturbing. I get that. Oh, this is disturbing that a kid's doing this to his mom because his delusions, disassociation is in parts unknown at this point. But maybe because I've seen multiple films and dealing with the torture stuff. Maybe it's because this ain't my first, second, or third rodeo, so it didn't affect me. I was just pretty much null and void. I was numb. Just numb to the whole thing. I just didn't care. I didn't care, and it didn't remind me of the 2009 film The Uninvited. Again, the twist I thought was not only just predictable, I feel like I've seen this twist so many times before. Like I said, if it was the thing with the mom, it was in the... You could really identify with the kids. Like, the mom's the one you should look up to and would protect you, and that's the one you can't trust anymore. And I don't know if you explain what's going on, or if you do it, it'd be ridiculous. But what the fucking thing could be. Because I guess that's kind of what they tried to do with The Visit, with the grandparents, and it was such a fucking stupid movie. Where, well, also, that, you know, the grandma thought she was the road runner under the house. I'm like, okay. Why did she have a superpower? Oh, no, she's just a crazy lady from an asylum. Okay, but she also happens to go run so fast underground like a goddamn groundhog. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. The movie, I guess, just wasn't my cup of tea. Because again, it's like when you're sitting there and just waiting for the movie to reveal its twist, what else is it offering? Not much that I could see. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Wasn't for me. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.